Albert Einstein said, you can't solve a problem at the same level that it was created. You have to rise above it to the next level to solve it. Do you think businesses can operate in the same way that they have been doing in the past? Do you think what made a company successful all these years, the same techniques can be used during or after this crisis? Do you think customers will pay the same way they used to pay before? No. Studies say that customers may struggle to pay. The assumptions that supported years of stable, predictable growth may no longer be valid. So we need to think differently. And innovation has become more critical than ever. Good evening, friends. Here we are again with day 5 of brand 10,000 W Combinator 100 Days to a Leadership Transformation series. On behalf of GCPIT, I extend a very warm welcome to you to this wonderful evening. We had great speakers and great topics in the last 4 days. We had sessions on cybersecurity, how to manage our finances, how to handle stress in business through a dancer's perspective. And yesterday we had a session, Power Posing Your Way to Confidence by our global chairperson of W Combinator, GCPIT. Hope you all are enjoying these sessions. We know that we are all going through the same situation and we want you to come out of this sad and depressing thoughts about the pandemic and we want you to adopt to the new normal. That's why GCPIT is bringing different speakers from different parts of the world to help you see that we are all together in this and we are there with you to support you to bounce back. GCPIT brings you the very best to connect with people, the best way to connect with people from different parts of the world and to network globally. We also have our energetic audience joining us from New York, Scotland, Tunisia, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Italy, Poland, Malaysia, Switzerland. We also have people from Dubai and other places in the Middle East. I'm joining from Oman and our today's speaker is joining us all the way from Seattle. Before introducing the speaker, let me introduce myself. I'm Aparna G. Kumar, the Global Co-Chairperson of GCPIT, that is the Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade, a not-for-profit registered in India and South Africa. The mission of GCPIT is to support SMEs globally. Responses to a McKinsey Global survey says that prioritizing innovation today is the key to unlocking post-crisis growth. The survey and subsequent interviews with business leaders tell us that many companies are deprioritizing innovation to concentrate on 4 things: shoring up their core businesses, pursuing known opportunity spaces, conserving cash and minimizing risk, and waiting until there is more clarity. However, we believe that particularly in times of crisis, more urgent actions to take include adapting the core to meet shifting customer needs, identifying and quickly addressing new opportunity areas being created by the changing landscape, re-evaluating the innovation initiative portfolio, and ensuring resources are allocated appropriately, and building the foundation for post-crisis growth in order to remain competitive in the recovery period. To talk about innovation, today we have with us a very special person, the highly energetic leader, Ms. Pooja Bhatia Vasaikar. She heads the Innovation Technology Transfer Office, ITTO, at the Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer, FITT, which is the Regional Tech Transfer Office set up at FITT with the support from National Biopharma Mission, a joint project of the Government of India and World Bank. The mandate is to cater to the academia, startups, and incubation centers. She is a techno-strato legal professional with a unique combined experience in all 3 spheres: technology, strategy, and law. She has over 14 years of professional experience in innovation management, technology transfer, marketing, strategic partnership, industry engagement, and policy development. She also has 6 years of research experience in governance of technology and bioethics. Her key areas of interest are emerging technologies, synthetic biology, nanomedicine, and traditional medicines. She has few publications also in this field. She holds an MBA degree in technology management and is a certified licensing professional, registered technology transfer professional, and a registered patent agent with the Indian Patent Office. She serves on various committees, including the Membership Development Committee of Association of University Technology Managers and CLP Exam Development and Maintenance Committee. Her motto is to simplify legal aspects of technology transfer and bridge the gap from lab to bedside. Framing strategies for effective management and negotiation are her strong points. She believes in empathy and she likes to read books and cook. She is also one of GCPIT's 100 Global Women Leaders this year, and we are proud to have her in our W Combinator team. She is going to talk about hop on the innovation train during COVID. Let me proudly present before you Ms. Pooja Bhatia Vasekar. Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you so much, Aparna. Hello, everyone. Um, we all are in the same page, as in we are going through so many changes because of the pandemic. We all have been working through home. Some of us having a combination of working from home, going to the office, juggling between house and household work and the usual work. So we all are together in the same boat. I will just start my presentation in a minute. I'm sharing my screen in a minute, but by the time I do that, I would like to know how all you are doing. I hope everybody is fine. Uh, all things are going well at your end. If there's anything any one of us can help you with, please do feel free to reach out to us. So I'll start my presentation by sharing a small story. With COVID, there are so many changes that have come up. Uh, Not just for us, for even for the kids, for all the age groups. So right now, the current situation in Delhi has brought in a situation where everybody in the entire family is not well and they are not in a position to cook. So now what is the alternative? To order food from outside, and most of the people would not like to do that. Why? Because then again, you have to sterilize and sanitize the boxes that are coming. Uh, that is an added task, especially when you're already feeling so weak. So one of the ladies, we had a chance to speak to her. She told us that, yes, I am aware that if I send a box of food to anybody, they would definitely sterilize it or sanitize it before opening it. So she has come up with a simple solution where she wraps it into a cling film and double wraps it into a foil. So it has a double layer of protection, the box, the cling film, and top of it, the foil. And then she sends it out to her clients, friends, colleagues, uh, the food, so that they can have it while they're not well. So by doing such a simple thing, she ensured that her business increases. She actually innovated. She came up with a very simple solution. So with this, I would like to tell you that innovation doesn't mean that you have to come up with complicated solutions. Even a simple solution can change the entire process. So now with this changing situation of pandemic, what can we do? Either we can sit and watch, or we can bring in the changes. And how we can do it: make our processes different, make them simple, uh, make things easily accessible for everyone, for the team members, for your colleagues, for your employees. Make life simple for them to have simple process in place. Bring in the process changes, get more feedback from your clients, bring in new products which are suitable for the current situation. Or we can also bring out solutions to the problems we are facing, like in terms of medical supplies. We saw that right now there was such a shortage of oxygen concentrators, generators, masks. So we can come up with innovative solutions in that arena as well. But how do we do it? Either we can do it on our own without anyone's support, go solo and uh, do the complete R&D, but that is a very time consuming process, especially right now when you have to get into that mode quickly. The second option is to find technologies which are already existing. Most of the institutes across the globe are actually working out on these solutions. They have worked on creating apps for the tracking purpose, stress management, and then a lot of other medical device related technologies. So you can either look for those technologies to use them, adopt them in your own company, or you can collaborate with another partner who can help you in creating something new. Now, when you scout for a technology, how would you do it? Not just for technology, even for a partner, how would you do it? Where would you look? So you need to start looking, seeing, and become more active on the social media. Look for the news clippings which are there. Most of the institutes, organizations, companies, even small startups have their own social media pages. Go through them, go through their website. You'll get to know what all they are working on. Is this something which is of interest to you? Can you connect with them? You would uh, find a lot of information on other areas they are working on. It is quite possible they may not be working on some particular technology you are interested in, but they are having a technical expertise or capabilities in a particular domain which you can collaborate with them to use effectively. So these are the three modes through which you can get into it. Do the R&D yourself, collaborate, or look for the technologies which are there, and through different ways, go through social media web page, social media sites which they have, their web pages. You can also ask Santosh or Aparna to connect you with the relevant person. There are agencies and individuals who help in this process of scouting technologies for you. So they can definitely help you. Look through your own network, look through the contact points. Is there anyone who can help you with it? As I said, Santosh and Aparna are the good starting point. You can ask them that, hey, I'm looking for this technology, or a contact person or an organization which is working in this domain. I'm sure they'll definitely look through their network and connect you with. So once you have done all this process, when you have shortlisted, identified what is it you want to do, ensure that whatever you do, you are not reinventing the wheel, because then it's not worth investing your time and money into it. Ensure that whatever you are working on is novel, isn't been done in any part of the world. Uh, you have it has the capability to be protected. So when I say protected, it means that it can be protected under the intellectual property rights. And please do remember, don't use just one form of intellectual property right. There are different forms. Create a portfolio, give us greater strength to the entire process. So then you can, if I give an example of mobile, a mobile has so many IPs on it. It would be protected by a trademark, which is the name of the product. It would also have a copyright for the manuals and the software. It will have a patent on the technology on which it's been run. So it has a lot of weapons in its arsenal, and you should also do the same. This is the right time to think about the strategy, what you want to follow, uh, and adopt it and get it implemented. Then there's another don't that I would like to mention, is that when you are doing technology scouting, don't get too impressed by the fanciful words that are used. Ensure that there are some test results, some data to back up the claim, which is very essential. Otherwise, you would just have an empty nest without any eggs. So to ensure that the nest is not empty, you do a tech assessment or a screening of the technologies that you are taking in, to see if they are actually matching the claims that they are claiming at. So for example, if some technologies say that they are useful in treatment of COVID, they would have some data to back that uh, claim that they are making. If they don't have any data, ask them, can we get that evaluated? You have that option of asking them. Most of the institutes will agree to it. Companies may bypass that request, but institutes generally will give you an option to evaluate and see for yourself if it's working or not. The other way of doing it is to request the other party to give you a demonstration. In case you don't want to do the evaluation yourself, you can also ask them to do the evaluation on your behalf. That would definitely incur a small fee or charges for it, but ensure that you have something to base your data on. You can also do an assessment to see if it's infringing on somebody's else right. Uh, because once you start launching that product, or you start implementing the process in your own organization, and if it's covered by somebody else intellectual property right, you would be infringing on it, which would be very harmful for you. So it's better to avoid that situation and check if it's infringement free, not protected by any right. Just by checking that, you are landing yourself on a safer page. The another thing that you can do is, even if you are not sure if it's covered by an IP or not, you can do a freedom to operate search, which will help you to see if you have the freedom uh, to use that particular process. Now, for example, if you are manufacturing a product which is manufactured through a process which is already protected, so your product may be free for you to sell and everything, but the process that it's been used is not free. So through the freedom to operate, you can actually check that out and see if you have the freedom to use the process, because without the process, definitely you can't manufacture the product. So saying this, uh, now I would come to the do's, because I have told you the don'ts. What should you do is that ensure that whatever uh, product or process or collaborations you are getting in, those are covered under proper agreements. You have a properly drafted agreement, which is collaboration agreement or a partnership agreement, which is protecting your rights, protecting your interest, and it gives you a leeway to kind of leave or come out of the collaboration at the right time if you want to, before burning your fingers any further. Also, if you are in the process of filing your own IP, please don't go and disclose it somewhere or discuss it with somebody before filing your IP. So if there's a patent related to a technology, please don't publish anything on the social media. Don't go and meet investors and tell them prior hand. At least file a provisional patent application to protect it. Secondly, even if you are giving that product or asking somebody to give a feedback on that particular technology, ensure they sign a non-disclosure agreement with you, because that's the only way that you can protect the confidential information which is there. But the foremost thing for you would be to file a provisional patent application to ensure you have the sufficient protection on it. Another do that you should do is to judge whether at this particular time, do you have that much resources and energy to channelize towards, you know, starting off a new product? Or would you like to use those resources and time to adopt an already developed technology? So that is a decision making that you would have to take. How is it that you want to do? Now, coming to the resources, keep a lookout for the funding schemes. Most of the government agencies have come up with different schemes to fund such challenges, coming up, you're helping you with, bringing more COVID related solutions. There are quite a number of active coils right now. I'm especially talking about India. There are a quite number of active calls which are open right now. You also have calls from, innovators and incubators and the accelerators, where they are supporting the startups who already have or are working on a COVID solution. So uh, even before you start working on something, ensure that you have the relevant resources with you, which will include not just the funding but also the technical expertise. Now, for technical expertise, you can definitely look out the expertise uh, throughout different organizations. Like most of the institutes, what they do is, you can have the faculty member in a particular technical domain on a contractual basis for a particular project. They would help you with the complete project, um, and whatever part you assign to them, with developing the technology or solution that you are interested in. So these are some of the do's that you have to keep in mind, and don'ts. I would just repeat the don'ts. Please don't go and publish anything. Don't enter into any discussions without the proper non-disclosure agreements. Don't reinvent the wheel, because then it's a sheer waste of your energy and resources trying to do something which is already existing, and it's not even solving any of the problems. Now, what are the different tools that you can use in this entire process? You can use the analytical tools such as the novelty search to understand if anything has been already created or developed across the globe. That Now, mind you, while the IP would be limited to a particular territory, uh, the the novelty search is done across the globe. So I know it's a difficult thing, because while you are filing in a particular specific country, you still have to look for the novelty across the globe. Then you can also use a landscaping analysis, not the garden landscaping, but a landscaping analysis in terms of technology or pattern, to see what all has been done, what are the new areas that you can get into, who are your competitors, what is the market currently like. Um, you can even find out who are the different patent holders whom you can approach for the collaboration part or for getting their technologies licensed to you. The third tool that you can use is the freedom to operate, which I have already discussed, which basically sees that if there are any particular patterns in a particular space that you are planning to work on, which would be blocking you from working on it. Uh, and these are generally done on country to country basis. So if you are wishing to start off something in, say, Nigeria, then the freedom to operate would be strictly limited to Nigeria, in comparison to novelty, where everything is seen globally. Another tool that you can have is ensure that at this time you have a policy framework, because all of us are working from home. So you have to keep in mind that there should be some set of rules for the employees and team members and collaborators on how to share the confidential information. What systems do they have in place? Do they know that they are not supposed to disclose anything on the social media, discuss it with anyone, um, or go ahead and give any presentations or any talks on the crux idea that you're working on. So a policy framework within your organization will help you in resolving these issues, ensuring that these issues don't crop up. Also have a process in place if you plan to frequently collaborate or license, so that everyone is on the same page. They know what are the terms and conditions that are most likely acceptable to the company, how to go about it, who is the contact point. Say, supposing if I contact somebody in your team and ask them that, hey, you have this technology and I'm interested in collaborating with you, that person should know whom he or she has to connect me with, whether he or she has that decision making power. Can he do the take up the decision on his own? So all that should be properly documented, so that the person or your team member knows the process that is involved in. Now, when you are doing small or bigger innovations in terms of the processes, improving your products, or be it creating solutions which are not actually falling within the domain of your startups or your companies, uh, just ensure that whatever you are working on is worth the while, and it is actually solving a problem. It has a proper market. So do your market research to ensure that you are meeting the need of the hour. For example, I gave you that lady who had actually wrapped up the food containers with foil and with cling wrap, which helped her in gaining more clients, because the word spread that she's taking care of all these small issues. So and she also used to stick a message on top of the boxes that the food is being prepared hygienically and packed hygienically. So these small things would help you in innovating better, uh, getting your processes changed, ensuring that your customers are happy and content, because when the customers are happy and content, your business would definitely grow. So with this, I would give you a bit more about the last tool that we can use. It is not related to any of the analytical part, but it is more of a process in that you should have in place. So like you have the policy framework, it's okay to have a framework, but then you have to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Have frequent meetings with your team members, with your employees, with your colleagues, to not just keep and check on how they are doing, but also to ensure that they are aware of the current policies and rules and regulations of your organization, uh, and they can relate to how the entire process is being changed. And all the whatever changes you're bringing into your policies or regulations, ensure those are easily accessible to everyone. So you need to train your people. You need to train your people in bringing in the change in the way they think, how they have to, innovate, motivate them to innovate. uh, Innovation is not limited to technology. Innovations also happen in the business method, the way you are working. Uh, so please innovate, keep innovating and elevating and improving the entire ecosystem, improving the health conditions and the stress levels of all your employees. And I hope uh, these few pointers are useful for you, and I'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much, Pooja. That was an awesome session. I'm sure our audience would really make use of these tips to create an impact in their businesses. I know you were jumping from one Zoom meeting to another today. Thank you so much for giving us your time in between your busy schedule. And thank you, audience, for joining us today. If you like the session, please go to our FB page and post a positive feedback today. So now let's see if there are any questions for you, Pooja. Dear friends, please unmute yourself for us. You can ask in the chat box as well. So let's see.
Yeah, Pooja, this is Praveena Tota, and thank you so much for the great ideas. And the very first moment when you said about packing, I could resonate many things over there. Thing is, like, Women in Vision is a group, like, where I have many women. So one fine day, like, there was a need for COVID times, like, food. So I've asked one of the lady to do that, but the mistake she has done is like a packing. That I realized after 1 week. So had it been known, probably your session would have known, I would have taken that decision there and then. Then I told her, like, no, this is how you need to do the packing. This is how you have to, because she has to cater to the person whom she's saying, because they are expecting at the level of 5-star hotel, or, then when they are providing the packing, that really matters. Not the food, not only the food, the packing as well. So thank you so much. I'm very sure it will be useful to many.
Thank you so much.
Pooja, I want to know something. You were
Sure.
talking about the IP, the trademarks and all. I just wanted to know, suppose a food product, let's take a food product. If you have an IP, if you have a trademark in India, in your country, can we get it internationally also, the same brand? And will that be objected by the person who is having it, holding it in India?
So we'll have to first check where all they have filed. If they have also filed it somewhere else in some other country, then definitely you can't file for the same brand. And then again, what is the class that you are looking for? So there are, around 47 classes which are there, 45 classes which are there. So then uh, it's not necessary they may have covered the classes that you are interested in, but if it's the same class of products, like you mentioned food, so then if they have already done that task, it would be difficult. Second, are they using it or not? If you can, gather the proof that they have a trademark but they are not using it, you can kind of revoke that trademark. Third is that if it's a well-known one, I'm sorry, Anju, the chances of getting the trademark is very, very, very slim, because the principle of well-known trademarks will then kick up, and it would be very difficult to get a trademark in any other country. And that same principle is also applicable in India. I'll just give you an example of Whirlpool. Initially, around 2000s, somebody has tried to trademark Whirlpool, and the examiner at that time said that this falls under this principle, because most of the Indians did travel at that time and they did know that Whirlpool is a famous brand outside, so it falls under the well-known trademark category, and the applicant was not able to get the trademark on the same Whirlpool. So referring to that example, yes, if there is something which is there in India, we will need to check if there's anything outside. But do remember, if it's a bigger company, they would definitely come after you and not allow you to protect it in other
No, they
country.
don't have it internationally, but yes, I know a person who is exporting it from India, but he doesn't have the, IP for the international, for the other countries. He's just exporting from India, and he has an IP over here. So will that, it makes easy for the other sister concern, yeah, the same family, the sister concern to take an IP in the international, way if they go for the same brand. Though they need to take the consent or what from the existing parent company.
Right, but then again, it would depend upon how long it has been since the first trademark was protected. If it's been a longer time period, there's a limitation of time during which you can, protect in other countries. So if
Yes.
it's crossed that limitation time, then that won't be possible.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for asking that question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anju ma'am. Anybody else has any questions?
But this is very important for our product, for our businesses. Even the name of the company, you can get it trademark.
Yes, definitely. You can, not just the name, the logo, the phrases.
Yes.
So ICI's famous jingle, Hum Hai Na, that is a good example of trademark because you quickly connect with it. So
Yeah.
whenever anybody comes up for any advice to us, we ask them these questions. Is it just the name that you are looking to protect, or the complete logo, name, and the phrases that you are
Yeah.
using?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Interesting session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anju ma'am. Anybody else would like to ask something? I think we don't have any questions, right? I can see anything in the chat as well.
Yeah, I can't see any questions.
So I think there are questions. So thank you so much once again, Pooja. It was an amazing session. I'm sure everyone who are listening to you would find it useful as well. We have a lot of people joining in on Facebook Live. And a dear audience, on behalf of GCPIT, I thank you also for joining us today. If you want to connect to Pooja, please go to our website, gcpit.org, and you have an option to connect to her through mail. If you feel you are an exceptional leader and you want to join us, please contact us through gcpit.org. See you tomorrow. We have one more special guest joining us from the United States, Dr. Lopamudra Das Roy. She will be handling another wonderful session. Till then, this is Aparna Kumar signing off. Stay safe. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Whichever part of the world you are joining us from. Have a great day. And Pooja, over to you. Would you like to add something as a closing remark?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Aparna, for having me here. It was a very good to speak, especially in the current situation where everybody is feeling a bit low. So I hope we are in a position on day 5 to transform that. And thanks to you and Santosh for giving the opportunity to speak. And thank you everyone for joining in. Take care, stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Parna.
Thank you so much, Anjuma. Thank you, Pravina. Thank you. Rima is here. Rima, would you like to add something? Hi.
Yeah, it is always wonderful to listen, ma'am.
I can't see you, Rima.
Am I audible?